Chief Science Director Zach Voon of the Keldorian Technocracy had waited his entire career for this opportunity. After decades of studying human transmissions and observing their primitive interplanetary infrastructure from a distance, his research vessel had finally captured an intact human warship. The Relentless Inquiry, the Technocracy's most advanced scientific vessel, had intercepted the human craft as it performed routine patrol maneuvers near the Jovian moons. A precisely calibrated gravity disruptor had disabled the ship without destroying it, and Technocracy Marines had secured it without a single casualty. The human crew had been transferred to containment pods for later study, leaving the vessel itself designated HSS Defiant, available for thorough analysis. Truly, this is a momentous occasion, Zach Voon announced to the assembled team of 27 specialist researchers. His translucent cranial chamber pulsed with the bioluminescent patterns, indicating intellectual excitement. For the first time, we will have direct access to human military technology. This will accelerate our conquest timetable by at least 2 decades. The researchers, each a leading authority in their respective fields, chittered their agreement. The Keldorian Technocracy had conquered 11 star systems over the past millennium, assimilating useful technologies and eliminating species deemed evolutionarily unfit. Humans had attracted their attention due to their rapid technological advancement, but were still considered at least a century away from becoming a genuine threat. We will proceed with systematic deconstruction, Zach Voon continued. Begin with standard protocol power systems, weapons capabilities, propulsion, command infrastructure, and defense mechanisms. The team divided into specialized groups, each focusing on their area of expertise. Zach Voon himself would oversee the central computer core analysis, the most prestigious assignment. 26 hours later, the Chief Science Director called an emergency meeting in the Relentless Inquiry's main conference chamber. The assembled researchers appeared visibly agitated, a concerning sign among Keldorians, whose species prided itself on emotional regulation through biochemical self-modification. Report your findings, Zach Voon ordered, his own cranial chamber pulsing with irregular patterns. Begin with propulsion systems. Senior Engineer Creeltax stepped forward, neural interface projecting schematics of the human vessel's engines. Director, their propulsion technology is perplexing. At first glance, it appears to be simple fusion-driven plasma propulsion, inefficient and primitive compared to our gravity manipulation drives. As expected, Zach Voon nodded. Continue. However, Creeltax's appendages twitched with agitation. Upon deeper analysis, we discovered that the visible propulsion system is merely ceremonial. Ceremonial? Zach Voon's cranial luminescence dimmed with confusion. Yes, Director. The actual propulsion mechanism is contained within a shielded core that our sensors initially missed. It appears to utilize principles we've only theorized: localized space-time distortion without exotic matter requirements. Their primitive exterior propulsion system is fully functional but serves as a deliberate misdirection. Murmurs spread through the assembled researchers. Zach Voon silenced them with a gesture. Weapons assessment? Weapons specialist Vexnar approached, his usual confidence noticeably absent. The vessel carries standard kinetic and missile armaments consistent with our intelligence reports. However, he paused, appendages trembling slightly. These conventional weapons are supplemented by 2 systems we cannot fully comprehend. He displayed a holographic representation of a device extracted from the human ship's forward section. This appears to be a focused quantum field generator capable of selectively altering fundamental forces within a targeted area. In simple terms, it could potentially make matter. Forget how to be matter. Impossible, one researcher objected. Such technology would require computational power beyond. Their computational systems are equally concerning, interrupted tech analyst Mirrors X. The human ship's computer core utilizes a hybrid architecture, digital processing, supplemented by what appears to be cultivated neural tissue. They've developed organic computing? Zax Voon asked, his bioluminescence pulsing with alarm. Not precisely, Director. They've created a symbiotic system, digital precision, guided by biological intuition. It's crude compared to our crystal matrix processors in terms of raw calculation, but demonstrates adaptive capabilities that exceed our own. The conference chamber erupted in distressed chittering. Keldorians prided themselves on having the most advanced computational systems in known space. Zax Voon raised all four primary appendages, demanding silence. Structural analysis? Materials specialist Trevlon stepped forward. The whole composition is unremarkable conventional alloys with adequate radiation shielding. However, the internal structural design is problematic. Explain. Director, the ship is designed to continue functioning even with catastrophic damage, not through sophisticated self-repair, but through aggressive compartmentalization and redundancy. Systems are duplicated, triplicated, or operate with distributed functionality. The vessel could lose 70% of its structure and still maintain combat capability. Zax Voon's cranial chamber darkened with concern. And the defense systems? This is where matters become truly disturbing, security analyst Korvac stated. The ship has minimal shield technology far below our capabilities. Instead, they've invested their resources in what can only be described as retaliatory measures. He displayed a schematic of a small device replicated throughout the human vessel. These are dead switch quantum entanglement transmitters. If the ship is destroyed, they trigger an instantaneous signal that cannot be blocked or intercepted. Signal to what? Zax Voon demanded. Unknown, Director. But based on power requirements and security protocols, we believe they're connected to weapons platforms hidden throughout their solar system. The human vessel isn't designed to win battles. It's designed to ensure that destroying it carries unacceptable consequences. Silence fell across the conference chamber as the implications became clear. There's one more finding, Director, cultural anthropologist Zen Vala said quietly. We analyzed their crew quarters and personal effects. Their historical and recreational data files are enlightening. She projected images gathered from the human ship, historical records, tactical simulations, entertainment media. Humans have spent their entire history fighting themselves. Their technological development has been driven almost entirely by warfare. Not against external threats, but against other humans. The assembled researchers watched in disturbed fascination as human history played out before them endless conflicts, each driving new innovations, new tactics, new weapons. Most species develop military technology to face external threats, Zen Vala continued. Humans developed it despite having no external threats. They've been preparing for interstellar war since before they left their atmosphere. Zax Voon absorbed this information in silence. Finally, he spoke. You've all reached the same conclusion I have. What we're seeing isn't a technological quirk or cultural anomaly. It's a deliberate strategy. He gestured to the holographic representation of the human vessel. This ship isn't primitive, it's a deception. Its visible technology is deliberately under-advanced. Its true capabilities are hidden. Its design philosophy isn't focused on battlefield superiority, but on ensuring mutual destruction. The Chief Science Director's cranial chamber pulsed with the distinctive pattern of high-level threat assessment. The humans want potential adversaries to underestimate them. They want to be attacked so they can demonstrate the consequences. This isn't a warship, it's a warning. He turned to face his research team. Recommendations? For several moments, no one spoke. Then Zen Vala, The cultural anthropologist stepped forward. Return the vessel exactly as we found it. Return the crew unharmed with no memory of their capture. Withdraw all observation posts from human space. Classify them as a Level 1 contact restriction for at least 5 centuries. But their resources, one researcher began, are not worth the risk, Zenvala finished. Director, humans don't think like us. They've evolved in an environment of constant conflict, yet still achieve spaceflight. They deliberately project weakness while developing unthinkable weapons. They design ships not to win battles, but to ensure that victory against them is meaningless. Zaxvoon contemplated for a moment, then made his decision. Begin immediate restoration and withdrawal procedures. When we return to Keldorian space, I will personally recommend to the high technocracy that human space be designated a permanent exclusion zone.